Hey guys, it's
Cam
and Katie, and today we're going to go over many items and just everyday things that we say differently. And I love that I get to share this with you today because there's been a few times in our marriage that I've been very confused on what Cameron is talking about. Basically, what we're going to do is we're going to show a picture, and depending on where you're at in the world, you say what that picture is of and how you would call it. And then I'll share how us Americans call this, and Cameron will share how Irish or British people call it.
Yeah. If you refer to it as something different than what we say, make sure to comment below what you would call it. But yeah, we're basically going to talk about the different names that we have in Ireland and America for just everyday things.
Yep. All right, so look at this first picture. What do you see?
What do you see?
I see a diaper.
I see a nappy.
See, Irish people call things such cuter words than Americans do. Everything, I swear. Like nappy is so adorable. Diaper? I don't know. I just don't think it's as cute. All right, what would you call this?
It's a pram.
It's a stroller. You're strolling around, pushing it. It's a stroller.
Well, if you're strolling around pushing it, why don't you call it a pusher?
This is me every day. All right, when you see this, what would you call it?
We call this a zebra crossing.
First of all, it's zebra, not zebra. And second of all, it's a crosswalk.
I know there's other colored crossing sections of the road, and we'd still call it a zebra crossing. But I think the reason we call it zebra crossing is because, at least in Ireland, the majority of them are black and white stripes.
I think it's also just because of the stripes, maybe. Someone was cute and they're like, let's call this a zebra crossing. Zebra. What would you call this? Are you ready? That's a pantry. A pantry. What do you call it?
We call that a press.
Where did you get that from?
You know, my whole life it made sense to me. It was just the cups go in the press, the food is in the press, open up the press. But now,
ooh!
I mean, like, I can see why it's confusing. That's all I'm going to say. I can see why this makes no sense when I say to someone, oh, the cups are in the press, or what press is your cups in? I can see why someone's like, what are you talking about?
Wow, we've come so far in our marriage. Cameron's never admitted this some more.
Well, I'm not going to stop saying it, but
yeah, of course.
I can understand why it's a very confusing. Like, what's a press? Like, what does press mean?
Maybe if you know,
press it open.
If you know,
that's only
please.
A new thing, though.
Yeah. If you know, comment below. Now, this is one of my favorites that we say differently. What do you see on the screen?
Rubbish.
No, it's trash.
Trash. It's rubbish.
I swear.
Rubbish. What a load of rubbish.
No.
What a load of trash.
What do you see on the back of this car?
This is definitely one of the ones that is the most hard for people to know. I mean, press is pretty high up there, but on the back of the car is the boot. It's
a trunk. The trunk of the car, period. As Cameron would say, full stop. See, there's another one.
Do you think that you call it trunk because people put their trunks in there, you know, like their suitcases?
What?
Wait, what's going on? What?
Now we call that different things?
No, wait, I don't call that a trunk. I just call that a suitcase. But I know it's called a trunk. Like in Harry Potter, they say, your trunk.
Maybe.
Anyway, it's a boot.
Okay, what do you see on the screen? The big scary cars that are driving next to you when you're on the freeway.
Vehicles.
Vehicles.
Oh, that's another one. We would never say vehicle. We just say cars.
Anyway, what would you call it, Cameron?
A lorry.
It's a semi-truck.
I always feel awkward with this one because Caitlin's mom's name is Lorry. So I'm like, watch out for the lorry. It's like, what? Why are you talking about my mom like that? No, I'm just kidding.
All right. Now, what do you see on the screen?
A tissue.
No. It's a Kleenex.
You'd still call it a Kleenex even if it legit said, like, let's say there was another famous brand, because we have Kleenex in Ireland. Let's say there's another brand called
Tissues.
Wipey. Would you still say, even though it clearly says on the box, Wipies?
I'm not going to speak for all Americans, but I know from my experience, I'd still call it a Kleenex. But who are you to talk?
Uh-oh.
Because the next one is very similar. What do you see on the screen? What do you call that?
A Hoover.
A Hoover. Now, why do you call it a Hoover?
Well, I call it a Hoover because I was taught it was called a Hoover. Okay, this is a good question. When you call it a Kleenex, did you always know it was a brand? Seemingly, Irish people call Hoovers because Hoover is
It's a Hoover brand.
Hoovers is a Hoover's brand. But I only found that out about a year ago.
That's
like
crazy.
My whole life, it was a Hoover.
And we would call it a vacuum, and it is technically a vacuum. You just call it a Hoover because of the
Vacuum
brand.
is like scientifically when. No, I'm not gonna.
This one is just crazy. Now, what do you see on the screen? I see a pair of underwear. What do you see, Cam?
Pants. I see pants.
Now, what do you see on the screen? I see a pair of pants. What do you see?
Trousers. See, this one's confusing because we call pants what you call
underwear,
and you call pants what we call trousers.
So this gets confusing because if we're with his parents, I say, oh, I need to change my pants. And they're like, that's a little bit too much of information.
Did you wet yourself or something? Yeah, it's confusing.
What do you see on the screen?
This one is tracksuit bottoms.
They're sweats. They're sweatpants.
See, I feel like sweats or sweatpants or what's the other one? Joggers?
Yeah.
I think that's starting to come in to the vocab, but
the vocab. Wow.
It's just because I'm too lazy to say the big word. Anyway, it's because like
certain brands use that. So for example, like Abercrombie, they would call their tracksuit bottoms joggers or sweats. So I would feel weird looking at a pair of Abercrombie trousers, let's just say, and saying, oh, those are tracksuit bottoms. Tracksuit bottoms are more, at least for me, like Adidas or Nike or something. I'd say, oh yeah, tracksuit. My tracksuit bottoms, yeah. But if it's like something you're chilling,
I guess I'd still call that tracksuit bottoms. I don't know. That was just all pointless. Yeah, we just call them tracksuit bottoms. I remember someone saying to me, I love your Hollister tracksuit bottoms. And that sounded weird to me because I know when I bought them, it said on the tag sweats or sweatpants. So for me, I would have called them sweatpants because the tag said it. But I guess if you're just pointing at them saying, what are those? We'd say tracksuit bottoms.
What do you see on the screen? Now, to me, it's simple. These are sneakers or tennis shoes.
Sneakers.
But to you...
runners. We call those runners. And I guess...
it's cute.
It's
I think it's cute, though. I really like it.
See, what was the second one? Tennis?
Tennis shoes.
Tennis shoes. Do you have to play tennis when you wear them?
That's all.
Like, I guess runners is a similar...
Do you have to run when you wear your runners? Oh!
No, but that's what I'm saying. It's a similar thing, but typically that's what runners are used for. Like, they're more comfortable, so you can run in them or work out in them or whatever it might be. But tennis shoes would imply you have to play tennis in them.
Well, runners, you have to run in them, so...
You don't have to, but you can.
Yeah, and you can with tennis shoes. Now, what do you see on the screen? What would you say? If you were asking someone, where is your blank, what would you say? Now, I would say, where's your restroom? But Cameron, he'd say...
where's your toilet? Where's the toilets? This is one I always get slagged for as well because I'd say, can I use your toilet? Which is just normal to me. And people would always say, oh, like, you don't need to tell us what you're... It's like, well, I'm not going to use your shower or your bath. If you're at someone's house for dinner and you say, where's your toilet? And they're like, why don't you say, where's your restroom? It's like, well, I'm not using anything else in there, you know? I'm not using your shower.
Hopefully the sink.
Well, obviously, but... Anyway.
Last but not least, I think this is so cute that Irish people call this item on the screen...
Swimming togs.
Swimming togs. We would say swimming suit, but they would say, grab your togs, we're going for a swim.
Yeah,
sure, that's it, you know.
I'll stop with that.
Let us know in the comments. I know we've said that a lot, but we want to interact with you guys. But let us know if there's any Irish or British phrases for these items that you didn't know they called it that. Because for me, I did not know Cameron called a swimming suit swimming togs until we were married. There's a lot I've learned. When Cameron said, can you go grab something from the press? I was like, where's the press? Anyway, we hope you enjoyed this video. Again, it's really cool to share my findings and my experiences here in Europe because I've learned so much. I thought everyone spoke English the same, but no, I was wrong. So anyway, stay tuned for our next video and thanks for watching.